We're going to work with estimating. Notice I said estimating and I didn't say rounding. Rounding is part of estimating. Estimating numbers, there's many different ways to estimate numbers. Rounding is just one of them. Today we're going to talk about rounding. We're going to talk about compatible numbers. We're going to talk about underestimates, overestimates. Does anyone have any idea what what does the word compatible mean? They fit together. They work together. If two things are compatible, it means they work well together. So these numbers, what we're going to work with is compatible numbers. We're going to work with rounding. Now, a lot of this is a review for you. Sometimes in math, you do not need an exact answer. Instead, you can use an estimate. Estimates are close to the exact answer, but are usually easier and faster to find. When estimating, you can round the numbers in the problem to compatible numbers. Compatible numbers are close to the numbers in the problem, and they can help you do the math in your head. All right. As far as rounding, this is a review for you. At least I hope it's a review for you. First thing we got to remember is place value. This number right here, this 5, what place is that? What's that? What place is it? That's the 1's place. What about the 4? Oops. What about the 4? What place is that, Corbin? That's the 10's place. All right. What about the 3? That's the 100's place. The 2 is what? That's the 1000's place. And the 1 is going to be the 10,000's place. This question says, estimate the sum by rounding to the place value indicated. So we need to round. The indicated place value is the 10,000. So we need to round this number, and we need to round this number to the 10,000's place. Then we're going to add. Now, a lot of times I've seen in 6th grade, what students will do is they'll add these together and find the exact answer and then round that number. We're not doing that. That's not what we want to do. We want to round the two numbers and then solve the problem. So when we want to round 12,345 to the nearest 10,000's place, first thing we need to do is find the 10,000's place. Which number is the 10,000's place? The 1. The 1 is the 10,000's place. After we round, what is every number after the 10,000's place going to be? A 0. So we are going to have a number here, and we're going to have a 0, a comma, 0, 0, 0. We just need to figure out what this number, getting funky, what this number right here is going to be. The way we figure out what that number right there is going to be is we need to look at this one. And when we look at that one, what's the rule? If this one is a what or above, if this number is a 5 or above, that means this number goes up 1. That means the 1 goes up 1. If this number is below a 5, this number stays the same. So is this number a 5 or above? No. So that means the 1 has to stay there. It stays the same. So this is 10,000 plus, again, which is our 10,000's place here? The 6. So the 6 is our 10,000's place. This is the number we're going to look at. So we're going to have this. We're going to have a 0, 0, 0, 0, because everything after it's going to be a 0. Does the 6 stay the same, or does it go up 1? It stays the same, Kinsey. All right. So Now we add 10,000 plus 60,000. I know it's a tough one. I know it's hard. Clayton, 70,000. Whew, good job. Got that one. It's as easy as that. I know you guys have done this before. Just a quick review. All right. We're going to round this one to the thousands place. What number is in the thousands place, Araya? Yeah, the 4. So we're going to have a number. We're going to have the rest zeros. Does that 4 go up 1 or does it stay the same? It goes up 1. Why? 9 is above 5. That's correct. This number is above a 5. All right. What else we got? This one is that's the thousands place. We got to look at this number. What does this one become? Kidsy. It stays the same. So this is going to be a 2,000. What's my answer? All right. 3,000. Now, check this out. You guys are going to be working out your math homework for tomorrow. And what you're going to do is you're going to have a bunch of pluses in a row. You're going to have adding, and then you're going to get to one where you subtract. And I'd be willing to bet that there's going to be at least 3 or 4 people in the room that get it wrong because they added instead of subtracting. You got your brain so hung up on trying to round and doing it right that you didn't slow down and notice that we're subtracting in this situation. I call those speed bumps. Okay? Be careful. There's speed bumps. Know what operation we're doing, okay? Slow down. You guys get in such a hurry. You want to get it done so fast because you got the next thing to do. Slow down. Slow. All right. What is 13,235 going to become? We're rounding to the 10,000s place. $10,000. Good, 10,000. 10,000 plus, what's this one going to become? Trey? 40,000. Look at that, I got funky zeros happening. What? Very good. Good. Careful. I will also tell you this. We are not always going to round the first number. Sometimes, instead of saying 10,000s, it's going to just say round to the hundreds. And so, like in that situation, this number would become 41,100 plus. If we were rounding to the hundreds place, it would be 13,200. See what I mean? So be careful. Make sure you're reading the directions and you follow what they're telling you to round it to. Next one. Rounding it to thousands place. Hey. We're rounding into thousands place. 6,000, very good. Minus what? $1,000, very good. Equals 5,000, good. All right, moving on. It's getting boring now. Sometimes we're going to overestimate. Sometimes we're going to underestimate. Now, Chelsea is planning for the annual softball banquet for the 8 teams in the region. Each team has 18 members. Estimate. Notice it doesn't say round. It says estimate how many plates she will need to buy if all the members attend. All right? So, should we overestimate or underestimate? And why? Pat.
Probably overestimate
Why?
because underestimate. The question says if all the numbers are to be underestimated, you might have to be wrong.
That's right, exactly. If you underestimate the number of plates and you don't have enough plates, you better hope it's not a spaghetti dinner, because their hands are going to get messy, because they're going to have to hold their spaghetti in their hand and not on their plates. It'd be gross, right? So we need to make sure we have more plates than we have people. So we want to overestimate. So all we need to do is we need to pick one of these two numbers and round it. I would pick this one. And I would make that a what? I'd make that a 20. And so I'd go 20 times 8, which is, how about 160? Plates. Here's what I would do in order to show my work, because you're going to be asked to show your work on your homework. I would go 20 times 8 equals 160 plates. Okay? Ms. Oliver wants to buy the entire 7th grade new pencils. There are 5 7th grade homeroom classes of 28 students. Do we want to overestimate or underestimate? You want to make sure everyone gets a pencil. Okay, what would we estimate? What would we round? Clayton. I'd make that 30. So I'd have 30 times 5, which is 350. So I'd go 30 times 5. Thank you. 150 pencils. Cool? You guys with me on that?
Yeah.
This isn't that complicated, is it? The next problem, though, this gets harder. Mr. Demo will drive 243 miles to the fair at 65 miles an hour. About how long will his trip take place? I guarantee you that there are going to be people in here that want to do this. Oh, well, this is easy. That's close to 2. That's 200. There, I'll round that to 200. This is supposed to go to 70. We need to divide. Okay, 200 divided by 70. Man, that doesn't work nice, does it? Watch this, though. What if I did this? Does that work well together? That's compatible numbers. I just chose two numbers that are close to our real numbers, but they work well together. How many hours? 3. It's not rounding, because to make this 243 a 210, that certainly doesn't follow any rounding rules that I know, does it? But they're numbers that are close that work well together. That's called compatible numbers. That's what you want to do in this situation. You could have also made this a 240 divided by 60. You could have made this, instead of 65, you could have made that a 60. That also would have worked. Now, granted, that's 4 hours. And there's a difference between 3 and 4 hours. That's true. But you're still close. And that's what estimating is. So remember, compatible numbers, numbers that work well together. So I have a question for you. If you had this problem, what numbers would you choose to work with? Because if you rounded, you would have 160. What would you choose?
100 divided by 50.
I would choose 100 divided by 50, which gives us an answer of how many hours? 2 hours. Okay? Yes? Yes, you could do that too. 50. Okay? Your homework assignment. You have to do it in your notebook. It's out of the book. You want to do page 12, numbers 6 to 24 even, and 25 to 28 all. Now this is out of the book. When I say even, that means you need to do the even problems. That means you do numbers 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, all the way to 24. You're writing this down. Where should you be writing this down? Corner of your notebook, top right of your homework assignment, and in your assignment notebook. Those two places. You need to write it down in both places. All right? So it's out of your book, page 12. Leave it in your notebook. I will check it out. It's also written over there on the board.